evening, it's Tim Hitchcock with Hey Hitchcock. Again, we're recording remotely. We're sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm, and Daylily Nursery. We are up in the thriving metropolis of Grimsley, Tennessee, with Laszlo and Debbie Martone. Sometimes I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable, but I'm going to try and do a better job with the Martones here. And we're at Galena Garlic. And this is an amazing place. Rachel Painter with the UT Extension Service told me about you guys, and I called up, and Laszlo was kind enough to agree to let us come up and talk to you. My wife, you're the first Laszlo that we've ever known.
Laszlo's a very Hungarian name.
Hungarian,
It's almost like Richard.
Okay.
We went to Budapest just this past, in fact, we were in Budapest this time last year.
Oh, really?
In Portugal and Spain, researching garlic.
Oh, wow.
See what kind of garlic they grow there. But it's a very common name.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you grew up, where you went to school, how you met, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a great question. So growing up, I was born in South America, Venezuela, to Hungarian parents.
Okay.
And hence came, garlic and paprika.
Okay.
Most seasonings start out with garlic and paprika. And one day I was talking to my mom. I bought some property in Galena area, and she said, I already planted, evergreens there, 3,200 of them, little baby seedlings.
Wow.
And they're pretty big now, 32 years later. But she said, why don't you grow some garlic? And I thought, So I researched it, and garlic came up as really non-existent, only the garlic that comes from overseas. Mm-hmm. So I thought locally, I finally found a guy in Dallas, and he was very helpful, Texas area, and he told me about the varietals and things like that, and it got me really kind of interested in it. And I'm a very impatient person, gardener, and I always tell my kids 10% idea, 90% hard work. So I think it should be the other way around, 90% idea and research. But I stuck 8 varietals in the ground, and only 6 made it, and here we are 23 years later, and still pushing garlic.
Now, what brought you from Venezuela to the United States? How old were you when you made it?
It's a great question. So I had asthma, and one of the doctors, or 2 of the doctors, said you have to have a weather change in seasons, because it's all tropical, and that will kind of alleviate. Plus there were better doctors here, hence why I eat so much garlic. Antioxidants, and the olive oils that we carry that are fresh certified. So those 2 kind of help. I've had up to 4 or 5 inhalers, and now I'm down to 1. So yeah.
When you first moved from Venezuela, did you move to Illinois initially?
I moved to Chicago.
Okay.
And that was my 3rd language, English. So in 1966.
So you speak Hungarian, Spanish, and English. I've got some great Hispanic jokes.
And and now a little bit of Italian, because I cheated in school. Italian was real easy to take because I spoke Spanish. So I got straight A's in that. So it was funny. And now I speak Appalachian.
Yeah, there you go.
So every once in a while, I even catch myself going, do what?
Yeah. Well, if you speak Appalachian, can you translate this for me?
Yes.
G-it.
Oh, idiot. No,
G-it. Did you eat yet?
Well, I know the funny slangs or words or lines, and this is the most fun I've had with pants on right now. So yeah, it was a transition. I also was frustrated the fact that I could not make a meal without buying 11 to 12 jars. Mm-hmm. So I talked to a chef friend of mine, and I said, why can't I just have something in a pouch to make a Moroccan dish, let's say, a pinch of this, a pinch of coriander, a pinch of this, a pinch of that, already in a pouch, so you, a 3-year-old, and a chef can walk in and able to just sprinkle it on and come out with the same results.
Okay.
So we started out, my wife and I, we started out in the basement of a hotel. At the time I was a photographer, wedding photographer. And we started on, I talked them into renting me their break room. At first they said no, Then they said no again, and I taught this to my children. No is not in our vocabulary. So now they call me and they tell me, yeah, that I just kept pushing that, you know.
Yeah.
So that's, finally they said yes, and so began Galena Garlic Company with this, you know, only 8 seasonings. I think we're over 300 seasonings now and counting. So my daughter keeps saying, no more. She takes care of the books and ordering, so that's why.
Yeah, I can see why.
And website.
And websites and stuff.
Now, Deborah, tell us about your background. Where did you grow up and all of that?
I don't have as an exciting story as Laszlo does, but I grew up in a suburb of Chicago.
Okay.
And we're grandparents, Polish immigrants, and you know, we loved food as much as anybody. And so when Laszlo said that he wanted to do,
Well, let's. How did you? I want to hear your side of the story. How did you and Laszlo meet?
oh boy. We met when he was working in a jewelry store, and I was looking for something for a gentleman who, you know, we were breaking up, but we had a long-term relationship. So, Laszlo, you know, speaking of food and why food has been a, you know, central thing for our lives together is. He said when he met me that, you know, I don't have what you're looking for, but I can make you Hungarian goulash. And, you know,
that's a good
so,
one. Right? That's a good one.
I mean, I'm cooking, I do the laundry, I do all these things at home. She does the weed whacking though.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. He, you know, he's already making me dinner before our first date.
Wow.
So it's been, you know, a love affair for food and
Hey, it worked,
and
ladies and
spice.
gentlemen, so take note. It did work. No, she's been, when I wasn't, you know, making as much money with my photography or my weddings, she was a supporter. Obviously, she had a full-time job, so she was the backbone of the Galena Garlic Company, and now my daughter, well, all my family, all my kids, Maria and also Laszlo Jr., were always there to help either at the store or at the farm or garlic or this.
Right.
But she was the backbone, and now Nina, she's my daughter that took over, and she's I call her air traffic controller.
Okay.
Because, you know, she's like, there's planes landing, and then, you know, there's
Planes taking off.
employees leaving and this and that. So she orders for all the stores, does all the books, does all the taxes, and for the years, you know, she put us through COVID by just improvising and, you
Ramping
know,
up the website.
ramping up the
you know,
website,
doing
going
online
on,
sales.
delivering things. She's like, Dad, I delivered 22 places today that people didn't want to come. They were afraid to come to the store, but
Right.
we actually took care of the customers, and it actually was one of our more profitable years because we are #1 in customer service. And I think that's so important in this day and age where you come in and nobody explains the store or
Right.
the items or even a simple where are you from, where are you coming from, what brings you here. I teach all my staff, if our product was mediocre, we would still sell it, but our product is top notch, and so
Right.
is our staff. You know, I'm very proud of them. There's people that have been with us in Nashville in our market 8, 9, 10 years, 6 years.
What year did you actually get started?
2003.
2003.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's when I did something that I don't think a lot of people think of doing. I actually created a logo first.
Okay.
And then I would wear it, and people would go, "Well, where's your store?" And by the time I heard "Where's your store," they thought I had like multiple, like this floor had T-shirts and stuff, and then spices and this and that, and I just had garlic at the time. But so, really at that time, it was the logo that brought people's attention, and it's kind of.
This is the original logo.
Okay.
It could be the original shirt because it's so faded. I didn't realize.
But, we're proud to say that we have grown, and we're always, I think, small business. You have to be part of the community. You have to help the community, and you have to educate. Educating is important about the garlic, about eating healthier, and then bringing just always a change. So you have to be kind of a chameleon. Even when I walk in, you won't see the local honeys there anymore. You will actually see an array of, let's say, black garlic, which is very, very popular right now because of its antioxidant properties. So we're always ever changing. I think that's very important for businesses to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you stay stagnant, you die in business.
Yeah.
And years ago, when we would work our stores up in Illinois, it was snowing and it was, one customer at a time. I would have the sign-up sheet, and I would look at that and I would look at the comments, and that would bring me up, from depression to a little that inspired us. Because, I had a judge when she goes, "This place is so good it should be illegal." And then a lady actually wrote, "Oh my God, the smell here, I want to die here." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know about that." But that's those comments, and there were many, and then whichever comment, and it was funny because the comments were so good, I told my staff, I said, "They all want, let's send them all a seasoning, So, because they were so true, People do tell you, if you're good or not.
Yeah.
I guess.
Now, you started out in Galena, Illinois, in 2003, and when did you decide to start your second location? Now, were you growing and processing and doing everything in that location at the time?
Yes. So that grew from because we were in an area 2 hours away, an hour and 40 to 2 hours away, which is where our house was
From Chicago.
From Chicago. And we bought a small little house that I fixed up in Galena. We still have. But great question, because we would commute and people asked us how they grew. So it was Nina and myself and Debbie and her boyfriend, now fiance, then now she's married to him, my son-in-law, Matt Stahl. We would drive there on Friday afternoon, work Friday evening, fill whatever we needed to, open Saturday, work all day, 8 to 7, and then go out to Platteville where they had the deep dish pizza that we missed from Chicago.
Yeah.
And it was really good. So we would go there, eat that, and come home, and then work Sunday till like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then drive home. But we did that for 8 years in a row.
Oh my goodness.
So then a real nice town in Illinois, Geneva, Illinois, approached us and said, "We have 9 empty spaces. Would you be interested in one of them?" So we were starting to get invited by towns that went to our original store.
Now, when you said they had 9 empty spaces, was this like a downtown brick and mortar that's vacant? Okay.
Yeah.
And the town actually came to you and said, "Hey."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, Geneva came, Arlington Heights came, West Dundee came, but I researched and I thought Geneva was really a close location where I can actually work it the first year and train people on how to do everything, and that's become a very, very, very a great store for us to be in.
So how many years were you in when you got to that?
Well, that would be like 8 years.
8 years or so.
And then after that, Lazo started looking for other opportunities in, cute little towns, downtown towns.
We're going to have to take a little commercial break right now. This is Tim Hitchcock with Hey Hitchcock, here with Laszlo and Debbie at Galena. Am I saying that right?
Yes, Galena Garlic Company.
And we'll be back. Good evening and welcome back to Hey Hitchcock, sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm, and Daylily Nursery. We're here in beautiful downtown Grimsley, Tennessee with Laszlo and Debbie Marton at Galena Garlic, and we've been talking about how y'all got in the business and started expanding. Before the break, we talked about your second store in Geneva, Illinois, and when did you get to number 3 and number 4 and so on and so on?
Well, 3 came about in a really funny way. I'm always online looking at whether it's chefs or garlic growers. I follow probably over 1,000 garlic growers.
Oh wow!
From New Zealand all the way to East Coast, West Coast.
I actually lived in New Zealand for 2 years.
Well, there you go. And Australia, they grow great garlic too. So, and they have garlic festivals. So that kind of inspired me. That we talk about that a little later. But So the store number 3 came about that I researched, and I just typed in best tourist places in the Midwest, and of course Galena came out, and all of a sudden Madison came up, and I'm like, oh, Madison, Wisconsin. It was not so. It was Madison, Indiana. And then I looked at it, and a nice little tour, and I was like, wow, it's an Ohio River. And I always look at who would come to our store from where. So I looked up north, you got Indianapolis. To the east, you have Cincinnati. And then to the south, you have Louisville. And it's on the Ohio River. And they had over like 13 events yearly.
Oh, goodness.
They have the regatta, which is like the Indy 500 on the Ohio.
Yeah.
On boats, regatta, the boats that go 200 miles per hour. And that draws like 50, 60,000 people. So I called the chamber there, and I was invited again, come and look. And at the time, again, rental was very inexpensive there. So I thought, that's cheaper than a billboard. But my family comes in and says, no, it's 5.5 hours away. Are you crazy? So I went anyway. And it is a very successful store, and they come from Indy, they come from Cincy, and they come from Louisville. And we have customers here that come in and say, well, we've been to your store, which is a really good feeling, because I always kid around. I go, I think I have a national brand by now, and I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah.
Because I pushed it that far, across the United States. And in fact, we'll wear a shirt in San Francisco, or we'll wear a shirt in the Carolinas, and on the pier, and somebody comes up to me and goes, I've been to your store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And really almost get teary-eyed.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty cool.
Well, it's not just a business. It's your family. It's part of you.
Yes.
Just like in my business, when we'll get an email or something from somebody that says, and I should have brought you some of our products, some of our waxed amaryllis bulbs, but it's an emotional experience.
It is.
When it's like your child.
Yeah.
It's like your child.
Yeah, it is. It is, and watching it grow, I don't think we realize it now, but I think my family is starting to realize it, that, they were a part of it.
Yeah.
A crucial part of it.
Yeah.
At times where we were like, are you sure you want to do this? Hence this building, I was at a dinner, and it was a barbecue place, and they thought, Dad, why are you going to do that? And then, well, look at it. Pretty much it was, no. And my son-in-law, he's my son-in-law, he goes, what do you want done with it? And I said, I want it painted all white. That's all I could think of, is paint it all white. He goes, well, it's going to get on the floors. I said, well, we got to sand those anyway.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. And, I wanted museum looking, and he accomplished that.
Well,
so.
And Christian will edit in a lot of pictures of the building, and this is a phenomenal place.
Yeah.
But now let's drop back. Okay, we've got 3 stores. When does Nashville start up? How did that start?
So that's...
Now there are 47 stores now, so we're going through them. No. We'll go.
We would if we could get some people to work. No, listen. So it's funny, but yeah, we were asked to franchise before, and it's been kind of in back of our, maybe make more of a distributorship or that type of a little satellite stores. But the Nashville store, my daughter found a job with Assurian, and she moved to Nashville, and she was always helping me. And she saw that vision that Nashville needed this type of ambiance or vibe.
You think she got that from the old man?
Yeah, I think so. And she kept bugging me every day. Yeah. She's like, Dad, I'm in jail. I know, help me. And I'm like, can't get you the breakout. Sorry, Dad's not gonna get a shop for you.
Yeah.
You have to get your own shop. So. You have to have skin in the game, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Otherwise it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I told her, I said, why don't you do some markets? And she did a market, and she found a little kiosk, and we opened. And then I said, now you're ready.
Okay.
And I knew she was ready because,
And how old was she at this time?
She was probably 22, 23.
Oh, okay.
She's 35 now, so
Yeah.
I mean, she's
Yeah,
been
she-
involved in the business since
Yeah, she was young,
day one.
yeah.
I mean, I think that she realized doing these markets, she's, local markets in downtown Nashville, that there was clearly a desire to purchase our products, and she was doing well in the small markets. So when we found a location in Nashville, I mean, it changed twice, but that's how it is, right? You know, you start out small, you change locations,
Well,
yeah.
a great plug to the National Farmers Market. Phenomenal. I
Yes,
mean, there's
yes.
nothing you cannot find there that's
Right.
grown.
Yeah.
And they have great eateries and coffee shops and whatnot, and always great events. But also the Franklin Market, Franklin, Tennessee. That market is
Oh, yeah.
just top notch.
Yeah.
Both are top notch, but Franklin's like, you get.
So-
the
so-
country singers there love our olive oils.
Yeah. So you've got a brick and mortar location, but she also goes to the farmers market.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Franklin and at the Nashville Farmers Market.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have permanent spots in the Nashville Farmers Market there. We're there 3 to 4 days, depending on the season, and then we have a permanent spot, every Saturday at the Franklin Market, on top of the brick and mortar store in East Nashville on 1000 Fatherland. So
Okay.
we're in a good location.
Now, does she have any trouble finding help?
No, those employees that we hired in Nashville, we've had since we opened.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
that
one has been with us over 10 years and one over 8 years.
that tells me three things. Number one, you know how to pick employees. Number two, it tells me that you treat them right.
Yeah.
And number three, you develop a relationship where they feel loyalty to you.
Yes, and not only that, but it brings really great satisfaction where they call me and they go, oh yes, the owner so and so, and I'm like, oh, they called her the owner. That means she took enough pride.
Yeah.
Because when I leave them on training, I said, here's my baby.
Yeah.
I'm handing it to you.
Yep, yep.
You're gonna make sure it's not wet. Make sure it's clean. Make
Yeah.
sure it's fed. Make sure you pay attention to it. So I said, that's my story. That's your baby. But going back to Nina, she told me something proudly, and I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag for other small venues or stores. She said, hire smarter than you. Well, I said, that's no problem, because all I know is 2 for 12 and 3 for 45 at the time. But and pay him more. And I said, oh no, we're not going to do that. And she said, trust me, it will come back tenfold.
Yeah.
And it did. So if you hire smarter and pay him more, you don't think it's going to work,
Yeah.
but it does.
There was a guy, I think he's the gentleman that started Orida Potatoes.
Yes.
His name was Simplot. Amazing story. Left home when he was like 13 years old. But he always used to say, if I have a business meeting and I'm the smartest man in the room, my company is in big trouble.
Exactly.
You always want to have people that are smarter than you. And, if you do, you'll be successful. And if they go off and start their own business, that's fine, because you'll have a relationship with them, and lots of times you can do business.
Yeah.
But always try and find people smarter than you. And I'm like you, that is no trouble at all finding somebody smarter than you.
No. So, the other big factor is staying open all the time.
Yeah.
We have
Consistency.
Consistency. And I have stores, even in Galena now, they're closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I'm like, no, the streets were crowded on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Yeah.
So they put their pretty much marbles in one little basket. And I'm like, you need to, and we're open 7 days a week here.
Yeah.
We don't want to, we're respectful to people that go to church.
Right.
Same like with us, we get home, whatever, and then we open the store, and we open it a little later, 11 to 4, but those are for the people that can't shop during the week.
Right.
Or they want to just go out and with their families
Yeah.
and come by and
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
so. But yeah, 7 days a week, and it's been successful. We're blessed.
Okay. And this, in the background behind Laszlo and Deborah is this beautiful woodwork that Laszlo has done. And I mean, every room in this building is like going into another creation. How long have you been doing this woodwork?
Well said. Pretty much when, I always had a fascination with wood and discarded wood, and I thought, things can be made. I always like to take something that's not of value to anyone.
Right.
And then put it on the wall. And, I'm not very accurate in measuring, so I can do a 10, 12, 14 foot really nice flat slab table and some of the spoons and I call them doohickeys.
Yes.
Spatulas and spurtles, and some cutting boards. But, I'm not, somebody asked me to make a cabinet, and I'm like, even if they gave me X amount of dollars, I wouldn't be able to do it. So
Well, they're one of a kind. I think that's what's important.
And it's so neat to see that now. We had a tree in our front yard that a storm took down, a big old sugar maple, and all my kids grew up climbing on it and everything. Of course, we hated to see it come down. But my son Daniel made spatulas for all of his siblings, for us and all the siblings, out of that tree. And so they'll always have a part of that tree.
Yes.
Yeah, same here. These are all from local hardwoods. And it seems to be, I work with about 8 or 9 mills all the way up to Wisconsin border, Georgia. There's a mill east of here I just discovered, and they have something about the water or the grain of those trees, because I've never seen wood in that fashion, with that different character. Right.
And all of our stores, all of our stores have some of his wood art in them. As you can see, this particular store has displays made from the different wood that he's collected over the years. So it's a really special store. It's probably our largest store here in Grimsley, and we're able to introduce new products and fun gifts for families and kitchens. We kind of focus our product line, not only our food, but our extra products, our gifts, all on the kitchen, and surrounding your family with love and great products. And
and with the 2 rooms, I just built one in the back. We accommodate yoga here.
Okay.
And different groups that want to come in and use this area here.
Okay.
Garden clubs.
But we
need to take a little commercial break, and we'll get right back to that when we come back. This is Tim Hitchcock with Hey Hitchcock, sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm, and Daylily Nursery. We'll be right back. Good evening and welcome back to Hey Hitchcock, sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm, and Daylily Nursery. We're back at Galena Garlic here in Grimsley, Tennessee with the Bartones. And during the commercial break, what happened?
We were talking about staffing and how, I tell them, take care of the baby. This is my baby, 23 years old now. And along comes Charity. I met her actually at an outside source and told her that we needed a position. And now she's really flourished into an awesome, she educates people, and like I told you, hire smarter, pay them more, and there she is. And she's, really kind of molded itself to a person that when people come in, and this is in all our stores, there's always that person they think they own the store, which is a great feeling to know.
And you're fine with that.
Yeah. But when there's problem, they go, I don't know. I don't know that. You better call that Laszlo guy.
You need to talk to Laszlo.
Or when they're talking about the new lease, then I come in and play hardball with them.
Well, Illinois, Indiana, Nashville. How did you wind up in Grimsley, Tennessee?
Oh, Grimsley. We took a left-hand turn. I wanted to live closer to, at the time, Nina and Maria, my other daughter, were in Nashville.
Okay.
So I thought we would get a place close, but not close enough when they were, breathing down their necks.
Right.
Type of thing. So it was on Craigslist, and Nina goes, let's go look at it. And as soon as we drove down the driveway, you'll see, we knew It had a pond where we can, irrigate and do things, and with the help of the programs that the ag department has
Right.
in Tennessee, they've helped us a lot as far as irrigation and things like that, drying areas and things like that. So hence the Rachel Painter, who I kept
Yes.
bugging for years, let's do a garlic fest, let's do
Yes,
educational.
yes.
And she finally said, okay, leave me alone, let's go.
And Rachel is actually the one that told me about
Yes.
you and sent me your phone number.
Yeah.
So we could get together to do a show together.
The important thing about that is I had this passion, or want to leave this legacy of more people planting garlic in Tennessee. And there's so much room
Right.
because, you get garlic so much coming from overseas that I think there's so much room of a lot of people to grow garlic, whether it's in Tennessee or any other place. And it's gotten really, really, it's on an uphill trajectory because I see farms all over the place now selling their garlic.
Well, how did she find this place? Did you just
So I
look
looked
online, or?
Yeah, we looked on Craigslist.
Okay.
And I saw a farm, 15 acres. The price was conducive to, and we didn't realize it was going to boom the way it is. Otherwise, I would have bought a few more garlic farms there. But we're blessed. It grows really well. It's a little more challenging because it's like temperature on, temperature off, temperature on, and my garlic's like, oh, I haven't done this before.
Is it spring? Your garlic did not know about dogwood winter, blackberry winter, all the
Exactly.
different winters that we seem to have. in
Yeah,
the
or the
spring.
summers. But it does take a cold, it needs a cold temperature
Yes.
because I grow hardneck. So,
Yes.
which been, have done really well. So amendment of the soil, I go to the Pick Tennessee conference, and there's a lot of speakers there that help us with all phases of farming, including marketing, including soil.
Right.
Insect, all sorts of venues that help, the local farmer.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we can't emphasize enough, especially here in Tennessee. Of course, this is broadcast all over the country, but here in Tennessee, the Tennessee Department of Agriculture has all kinds of ways to help people in whatever enterprise they are in agriculture. The TAEP that we talked about, the Tennessee Agricultural Enhancement Program, through local extension, they are always eager to help. They will put pencil and pen to facts and figures and tell you whether or not it's a good idea, a bad idea, a marginal idea, and it's just amazing the resources that are available through the Tennessee Department of Agriculture.
Absolutely. And that, the value-added products that they have.
Oh, yes.
So a lot of people haven't looked at garlic. They just look at garlic as coming out of the ground.
Yep.
And when I was growing it back in Illinois, I had a truckload full of scapes, the flower, which you have to snip to make the bulb bigger.
Right.
And I took it to restaurants, and they were like, what? And then finally one chef said, oh, scapes. He put it in a blender and he started doing his own pesto.
Yeah.
But there's so many byproducts of the garlic plant that we haven't even tapped into.
Okay.
So you're looking at the bulb, you're looking at the scape, the flower, but what about the leaves? The leaves are like phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I'm working with a couple people on maybe making everybody loves those Japanese beetles, right? So if I can come up with a spray that isolates them a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to invest in? We play Shark Tank now.
Well, I don't know.
I give you for 10% for $350,000 and 10% of my company. That's a different company. That's a spray company.
We'll talk about it after we do this program.
But Laszlo's right. There are a lot of different products that we've created with the garlic beyond just the fresh garlic. We have the garlic scapes. We sell that fresh, and then we freeze dry them. We sell them in small packets. We have all the blends and rubs that have garlic in them. We have the garlic olive oil. We have black garlic balsamic, and just a ton of garlic products that we've been able to make from our crop. We have olive stuffed with garlic. So, I mean, lots of different fun things with pickled garlic.
Yeah.
Pickled garlic is one of our best-selling items in the store. It's crazy. Like, people love the pickled
She's
garlic.
like, I ate the whole jar while watching the game. And I'm like,
You did what?
you're really helping now.
So,
But yeah, no, we're having fun, and we conducted, we wanted a gathering of people to come to a garlic festival. And we did that up in Illinois, 9 years. We even did it during COVID on a Zoom, which was crazy, but we started one here, educational, and then we did one at Cumberland at the Master Gardeners Club location there in
yes.
Crossville. And now this year we're having it at Fairfield Glade.
Oh.
And Fairfield Glade is really up for a party because they're helping me now really with the
great.
logistics.
Yeah.
Because before it was all family,
Yeah.
and it would be like, fight number 32, where we're
Yeah.
going to put the tents
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we would change everything in the last 2 minutes, and then everybody would go, well, why'd you change everything? I
Yeah.
go, that's how I roll,
Yeah.
But this time, they're helping me, and it's going to be more of a culinary experience with different garlic vendors. Such a bread person will have garlic. We'll have a person with charcuterie and dips
Right.
and with garlic. And then we'll be roasting garlic.
And when will this be?
This will be on September 26th
September the
at
26th.
Fairfield Glades. Be there. We're going to have a garlic day, and we're going to have fun.
Okay. Well, we need to take another commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to be actually out on the farm, and Laszlo is going to show us where he's growing the garlic. Okay? So this is Tim Hitchcock with Hey Hitchcock, and we'll be right back. Good evening and welcome back to Hey Hitchcock. Here we are with Laszlo Martone in Grimsley. We've been at his store, and right now he's been gracious enough to let us come out to his farm and his home. And this is just a beautiful place you have here, Laszlo. You're telling us about you've had several tornadoes come
Yes,
through
we
over the years?
we were blessed. It didn't hit our house, but as you can see, there's a stump there. That other tree was 55 inches in diameter.
Ooh, a big
And it wiped out pretty much a beautiful red old barn that we had. And Debbie was we were in the porch, in the front porch, and she said, "Oh, my barn!" And I said, "Don't worry, we can rebuild that." I said, "You better get in the bathtub right now."
Yeah.
So we rebuilt it. It was a labor of love and blood, sweat, and literally tears. I will take you inside and show you. Obviously, when you get lemons, what do you make? Lemonade, right?
Yeah.
So we got the 2 lemonades right there. We got Lion King, and we got a Cherokee Indian out of the 2 stumps, and then we have a beautiful eagle inside of the barn. So let's go take a
Now,
look at that.
are you carving those out yourself?
No, actually a gentleman out of Chattanooga.
Okay.
Yeah, his name is Stefan Skibala.
Okay.
And he does beautiful carvings. His dad does them, and he's actually in Europe now touring, doing all these competitions. But he can pretty much carve anything. I had a young lady carve that one, and I had him carve the Lion King.
Those are amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's go on into the barn.
Yes. It's a little messy now.
That's all
but-
right.
So here's my spatulas, but here's our other piece. And then obviously,
and that's from the tree that the tornado took out.
yes.
That's
And then if you come on this side,
okay.
these are some of the other carvings that he does.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
But also, so here's some of the table work that I do. Like I said, I'm not a furniture maker, but
Wow.
I can make a mean table. And see what you can guess what's in the middle of. Some people say it's a spider, some people say it's a person's face.
Well, I see 2 eyes and I see a mouth
Yeah.
and I see a garlic
Yeah.
clove at the top of the head.
Thank you, see? But yeah, so I try to select pieces that go wow. Because everybody has wood, but I think with the Deja wood is Mostly pieces that you have never seen before.
What kind of wood is it?
This is a walnut out of northern Wisconsin.
Why? How did you find one that had the garlic clove on it?
Well, I mean, they're book matched, so
Yeah.
the left side
Oh,
meets
okay,
it. Yeah,
okay,
so they're
okay.
both. But that's exactly what we do here. And I mean, things like this from Claro. This is a Claro cookie out of California,
Okay.
which is rare. So again, when you have a finish on it and it turns out to be
Something like
something
that.
like
Oh,
that.
my goodness.
Yeah, so
That is absolutely gorgeous.
yeah, and nothing gets wasted. You can kind of take a look at this here, which is kind of fun. This is just out of one piece of wood,
Okay.
but you're getting, this just cut-offs
Yep.
basically, but I formed a pattern. I do a lot of wall art, you know, where people hang things on the wall, such as that one over there. It's kind
Right. Oh, wow.
of, you know, burl that
Yep.
we tend to do a lot of interesting pieces.
Absolutely.
Try to put tables out of it, but also make, you know, things for the wall. Shall we go look at the garlic?
Yes, let's go to the field.
All right. Okay, so here we go. So you want to get in here. Actually, let's see if he'll pull out. It might not. No, let's not break
Okay,
it. Let's
all right.
here. Let's do this. And I'll let you finish it.
Okay. Do I need to go deeper or just pry it out?
No, you're
now?
good right there. Whoa, look at that. That's before we pick the scapes.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that soil. Oh, my
See
goodness.
that? It's all in the soil. Nice root system. Probably we left half of it in there. There you go. And then,
Now, if that was fully matured, how big would that?
so I would say by the looks of this, you're gonna get a bulb that's about that
it'll be
big.
2 to 3 times as big.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, this is still early.
this is still early. So from me to you, from Galena Garlic, usagarlic.com, you get your first bulb of the year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. and the drying process really is to make it, the cloves separate easier. So that's why we dry it and hang it. We either hang it upside down or sometimes in bundles.
Okay.
But this is what I was talking to you about. What are we going to do with this?
Right.
You know, it still has that wonderful
Yeah.
garlic smell
Yes.
when you chop it up. So
It's kind of like lavender.
yeah.
We use all.
But basically, you're going to get this here. You don't have to let it dry. You can actually use it tonight.
Okay.
There you are, sir.
Thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you for coming.
You know, we have stressed repeatedly on the show with people from Tennessee Department of Agriculture, FFA, you know, everything. It doesn't matter how good a job you do, if you don't have a market for it,
No.
you ain't got nothing.
And honestly, as myself, if I didn't have the personality and didn't push the idea of it, I would put a person that had that personality to
Exactly.
explain the garlic
Right.
in front. Because I look at a lot of farmers and they're tired.
Yeah.
So they're at the farmer stand and they're like, I'm like, chop up that turnip or whatever you have and make
Put
people
some
taste it
samples
or
out
tell them
there.
how you grew
Yeah.
it, you know? And that's really, there's no secrets. It's
Yeah.
just real simple. People love to know about what you're doing.
Right. Well, Laszlo and Debbie, thank you so much
Thank you,
for
sir.
letting
My
us
pleasure.
come
Thank
up.
you.
It has been a pleasure to see your place, and this is just phenomenal. Everything from the garlic to the, you know, the rubs
Thank
and the
you.
sauces, the wood. It's just amazing. Well, this is. Did you want to say something?
Yes.
Yes.
See us at galenagarlic.com and we can ship nationwide for you. And if you have any garlic questions, pretty easy. My email, garlic911@gmail.com. That's garlic911@gmail.com. If you want to learn more about garlic, or if you want to farm with me or co-op with me on some garlic ventures. Thank you.
Come to the Garlic Festival. This is Tim Hitchcock with Hey Hitchcock, sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm and Daylily Nursery. We'll see you next week.